what is up to the faithful users of this channel and my loyal subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing, guys. Thank you so much for viewing all these videos. Anyway, this was one of my favorite streams of all time, and I love that I'm a streamer because it means that you guys can go ahead and find all the content, okay? Everything that I put out here is actual and it is factual, guys. But I have to let you know, there was a little bit of a season change, and there were a few changes. I had to go back to like Division 2 or something. You guys will see all the updates in the later streams. But as for now, I want to show you my favorite stream of all time. I was on fire, and I had just released a whole video telling you guys how you should be aiming to play to win more games, and I hope that it's helpful for anyone that is willing to watch that video. Obviously, there are a lot more things that you need to learn to perfect the game. There are meta ways to play. I've actually spoken to a few people in the elite division right now, and well, who have reached the elite division this year or in the past, and yeah, I see a lot of people telling me a lot of things that I haven't actually applied to my game to make it better. But as soon as I do figure all of that out, I will let you guys know. But I just want to show you this gameplay specifically. We scored some of the most satisfying goals to get to this position, and not just scoring satisfying goals, we also, well, we find it difficult, yes, but we also managed to score, 7 or 8 goals starting from the beginning. We started with squad battles. We played a bunch of rivals games. We played a bunch of seasons games throughout the week. We were preparing every single day, making sure not only our morale was all the way up, but our actual ability as well. And that combination just helped us push through every single challenge that we would face in this stream. Anyway, in the stream, we actually got all the way to Division 1, and you guys will see that clarification, that signal a little bit later. And yeah, it was fantastic. The rewards that I ended up getting for Division 1 were not so great. I feel like, I have to start consistently being in Division 1 to start reaping real rewards from it. And it all just means that I have to play a lot more. What I noticed was, the more consistent I was in my gameplay, the easier it was to play against specific individuals. I always thought there was a skill gap between each player, but as I got to the higher divisions, I started to realize most of these players are playing pretty much the same in every single game, and they're actually reacting to you as an individual and how good you might be at the game. So if you can or cannot defend, can or cannot attack, and then they'll react to whatever they're seeing on the pitch. And that just meant for us, the more goals we scored, the more goals we scored, the better, in my opinion. I tried to keep it consistent, tried to score 6 or 7 goals against every opponent's 8 goals is a little bit harder, of course, it's a little bit more rare, but I tried to keep that much consistent. We scored 5 against most of them, and with that little piece of knowledge, it was easy to actually, go past a lot of these guys because they didn't expect anyone to challenge them as much as we did here. So every time they saw our username, whatever, they just expected a normal average match 2-2, but that's not what we were up for. We were trying to score a lot more goals, and it helped us in the end. Now, our teammates definitely know exactly where to find the water bottles, and we might not be hitting the ball into the stands every single time we shoot, but I can say Division 3 rewards are definitely good enough. Now, in comparison to real life, you definitely want to be in the Premier League to get all the great rewards. You want to be in the Premier League to be recognized as a club. You want to be in the Premier League for everything. But I think Division 3 gameplay and whatever you want, whatever you're looking for, the difficulty matches with the higher ends of Division 2. I can't speak for the entirety of Division 1, but most of Division 2 is very similar. And in this game, it's just a matter of how much time are you actually getting in game and playing. It takes around 12 minutes to complete a match, and it also takes, you can only play a certain number of games every single hour, for example. You have to take breaks in between. So you're going to need a very, very good team and a whole lot of time if you want to get to these higher ranks. And if you want to be one of the most informed players, you have to treat every single team the exact same. Make sure you are defensively sound, score as many goals as possible, make sure you're as accurate as possible, and you're probably going to get the best results. So there are no shortcuts really. You really just have to go in there with your best possible team and your best possible experience, your knowledge, and the way you want to play, and be as clinical as possible. I've seen the best outcome is when you're scoring 4 or 5 goals per half, and that is when you are actually in form and you're actually ready to compete against these incredible players. One thing for sure, my FUT Champs record hasn't been as good as you would expect. My FUT Champs so far, we've only managed to get 9 wins at a maximum, which is very low in comparison to a lot of other players. We haven't used the most meta players and the most meta formations. I feel like the majority of the time we're using something that works regardless of what you're doing, and our players are good enough to make an appearance, but are we really using the Ronaldinhos, the Rivaldos, the best players in the game? I'm not too sure about that. So I definitely think there are improvements that I would make in another series. But one thing for sure, I promised you guys one day I'm going to reach Division 1. We finally did it, and that was the most important thing. Of course, Elite Division and consistent Elite Division gameplay hopefully is going to be important for the channel. You want to get to a stage where we're getting to the Elite Division after every week, and it's not a problem for us. All I can really say though is that I could finally breathe once I finally entered that Division 1 status, once I knew that, okay, I am capable without a doubt of reaching these stages. I understood what I needed to do. It was a very satisfying moment, and I want you guys to also know there's nothing to be scared of. Anyone can really do this if they put their time into it. It's definitely possible, and I am proud of myself for sure. I thought this was impossible at some point. I've spent years trying to figure it out, and it's nice to finally say, okay, I've given it some time, some thought, and I can bring you guys some better rewards and some better pack openings, whatever. Anyway, a few things that I've learned. I did use a sort of stuck in my ways type of approach to this specific playthrough in this specific campaign. I wanted to play the game modes that I was used to, so squad battles just for practice, division rivals practice as well, and then FUT Champs to get the best possible rewards. I'm getting better at all of those modes as we go along. I'm playing on Legendary on squad battles. Last year we couldn't even manage to win enough games to get the requirement of points to get decent rewards at least, right? Right now we're playing Legendary, we're in a better division rivals, we're getting slightly more wins. Everything takes time at the end of the day. It takes a whole lot of practice, and we're figuring it out slowly, but we haven't got into the live events. We haven't gotten into Ultimate Gauntlet and using various teams, which sounds like a whole lot of fun, but you also have to understand, like, it takes a lot of time. Like, if I do start doing Gauntlet, does that mean I just drop squad battles completely? Am I ready to drop squad battles considering how good I am at the game realistically at the moment? I feel like a lot of the players I play against, I only play well when I'm able to go through 12 minutes of consistent good performances. If that's not the case, then I'm not playing well. If I concede a few goals, I get too frustrated, I feel like quitting. Whatever the case might be, it doesn't actually work out. So I'm still figuring out a few things. I definitely think the team though is more important than sometimes your actual play. You might find players that have the best play styles and there's not much you can do about it. Bruiser plus, intercept plus, we've got finesse shot plus. Low driven isn't as good as it used to be, but rapid and quick step, those play styles just make everything a lot better and a lot more smooth when you're trying to make your progress. But at the same time, once you understand your team, your play styles, what you can do at least, I think you can use various combinations to actually get goals. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I hope you guys like and subscribe. It's going to be very important for the algorithm to actually know that you guys are enjoying the content. You want more viewers to see this. Please go ahead and show your support.